What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Kane and Ross present the Yeah I Said It podcast. We're expressing what our full capabilities. They might want us in correctional facilities. Brainchild of my child. I am the dad half of this operation. Ross Cooper, as always, rocking with the best. My co-host, please introduce yourself to the folk.
A wise man once said, "We all dead. Fuck it." All right, yeah. What's good, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good day, month, year, hour, day, all that good stuff. If you're watching on any other platforms, please share with your friends, family, pets, enemies, all that good stuff. Aliens, Biden, Russia, all that shit. And if you're watching on YouTube, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Because if you don't, World War III will start, and you will be drafted first, all of you. So, yeah, do that.
You try to get us in hot water in the first 5 minutes, dog. Come on, man. Under normal circumstances, the war joke is a joke, but have you looked outside, sir? Have you looked out the window, sir?
Yeah, the sun is shining, but it's not because of missiles and stuff. It's just shining.
Oh, I cannot with you, man. So, for those who don't know, um, there is a war going on outside. No man is safe from. Sorry for the Mob D reference. Couldn't resist it. All jokes aside, there is a war going on across the globe from where we're sitting. Russia has decided, Vladimir Putin has decided to invade Ukraine. Um, as I was listening to certain media outlets this morning, things got really real. They set a nuclear plant on fire. That seems like really partner to term what the fuckish. um like
It's safe now. They actually cease fire just to handle it, so it's under control now.
I don't I don't know what to take, man. It's just like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I've been watching 24-hour news coverage. The thing about it, so I don't, take the statements we made with a grain of salt because I'm not a war correspondent, and I'm not to be an a hole here, but I'm not super duper 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 invested yet. Um, and sadly, the thing that would cause me to be invested would be media coverage. Let me know what's going on over there has let me down in a lot of ways. Now, I will say this first and foremost: it sucks to no end the loss of life that has occurred. It seems like this is completely and totally unnecessary and unwarranted. This is based on what I do know, the things I have read and saw. And it's just really tragic for the what appears to be unnecessary loss of life. It appears there have been civilian lives lost. And that's the thing about war that's really shitty.
That's war.
Like,
It happens.
it's a way to do everything. And there's a reason. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's war, it happens, but there's a reason why there's such things as war crimes and crimes against humanity. Now,
War itself
I,
is a crime against humanity. But go ahead.
ironically, I live in America, who somehow has never been brought up on war crimes or crimes
Still,
against humanity
still.
while committing the biggest, probably historical crime against humanity. But
Yep.
that's another discussion for another day. Um, but first and foremost, like I said, I do want to, I think I speak for both of us. It is sad to see the loss of life here. Um, what is also troubling, and we touched on this last night when we were talking about a different subject that we may touch on later, but you and I both agree being black in this country, in America, comes with some shit. And there's no, and I can dress that up and put it in a much more, you know, less less explicit way. But no, I think this one I'm going to drive home. Being black in this country, phenotypically black in this country, comes with shit. And it wasn't just a lyric when Pac said, "The darker you are, the really your problems." But apparently, and this might be news to some people because I don't know how many people travel or have experience outside of this country. But being black everywhere, where, as you said, black people are not the majority, apparently can come with some shit. What's troubling, and I'll circle back to where we started, and I won't go on a long diatribe because I want you to jump in here, is how media coverage, like I said, the thing that's going to garner sympathy, the thing that's going to garner sympathy from the world is, what do we see? What do we hear? Right? So it is so saddening slash sickening to know that even in a time of war, it appears racism rears its ugly head. And what do I mean by that? If you look at the hashtag Africans in Ukraine, apparently our African brothers and sisters have had the worst possible time getting out. There's video footage of a young black girl being pushed aside to allow some white folks onto a train to get out of Ukraine. I'm appalled. And honestly, I gotta say, I'm kind of shocked. I'm kind of shocked. I'm appalled, one, in a life and death situation. But then, like I said, go to media, they've gone on record. I think the president of Ukraine, and if I'm wrong on this one, correct me. I think the president of Ukraine is going on record and saying, we're seeing people with blonde hair and blue eyes be killed. Another statement was about how this is Europe. This is not a third world country. I I'm appalled, and quite frankly, I'm shocked. I'll dive into why, but I want you to jump in here, sir.
Not shocked. Not
Why are you not shocked?
because it's Russia and Ukraine. Who is the majority there? Like I said, you keep saying it's American problems about being black, which is understandable because that's where we're from. So this is where we live. And like I said, I haven't traveled around the whole world to justify, do I feel the same way that I feel here? But I do know, the good thing about the internet, one of the few good things, you got people from all over the world speaking and showing their experiences. And it doesn't look that different on the other parts of the world, unless, like I said to you off air, unless black people is the majority of wherever area they're staying at, or country, or whatever continent, whatever, it's going to be some problems. So Ukraine, of course, we're not the majority there, still a minority. You know how majorities usually treat minorities, so doesn't surprise me. It's sad because it's like, this is literally a life and death situation, and you're still being selective. But it shouldn't be that surprising because people here do it. What did we talk about last week? The differences in a life and death situation, how they can make certain choices or certain decisions based on your race. The pigs do it. Like I said, last week when we talked about, check out the last episode if you haven't. Dude was stabbing his partner in the neck. Still come out literally a life or death situation. Still had the courage, well, not courage, but still had the level-headedness and decision making to take him alive. And then, many examples of, black people or colored people in the same situations, or really less situations that aren't life or death, get treated like it is life or death. So they said racism never sleeps, man. So it's a sad thing to see, but it's not surprising. And then, like you said, with the Ukrainian president or whatever, basically saying some racist shit. Like, we're not a third country. Oh, there's a lot of blue-eyed, blonde-haired people die. Like, that's the only people there to die. I mean, it's your people. Your people is your people. And not everyone there has that. That sounds like some Nazi shit right there. But it's okay. But yeah, like I said, I'm just tired, like I said, of, how do I word this without getting in too much trouble? Let's see if I can do it. I'm just tired of like people wanting sympathy from specifically from us, but they never treat us with the same authority, the same sympathy or empathy. There's no empathy towards us, but you expect to put all our differences to the side and put all our bullshit to the side and be empathy to you people. At the same moment, you're proving to us that you literally, our lives do not matter.
And
So it's like and I'm not saying I don't feel bad for Ukraine, that whole war and stuff, because there's a lot of intricacies and details that the news are leaving out why this whole thing started. Because it didn't just happen overnight and it's like, oh, Putin is just evil, so I'm just going to do this now. I want the Soviet Union back now. Nah, it's way deeper than that. This has been going on for years. No one said anything.
right.
So the media is making it look like he's just this. Let's not get twisted. He's not a great person. That's still like a dictatorship there. But I'm just saying, like, this didn't happen overnight. Then he didn't just wake up and like, fuck, like, screw it. I'm just going to invade and just take over stuff.
No.
So yeah. I don't know how to feel, because it's like as a black man, not in America, but a black man in the world, that's not a majority. It's like how do I mentally and physically set aside all my differences and issues to try to support and feel empathy to somebody who doesn't feel it for me? It's like showing loyalty to someone who isn't loyal to you. That's blind loyalty.
I mean,
that's blind love. If you don't love me, why should I love you? Like,
because
if you
that's
think
what
I'm lesser than you, why should I put my life on the line or put my emotions, my spirit to align with yours? I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying it's a moral conundrum with me, because it's like I was with you until I started seeing these damn videos and showing that you just as racist as everybody else. It's the same thing about another hashtag that happened a while ago. I'm not going to say what it was or what the movement was, but that's been happening to us for a while. And then when when the LA riots happen and certain shit happens, y'all don't really stand with us. You really on the opposite side. So it's like, how can I, as a human, logically think that I should stand with you if you don't stand with me? That's one-sided. I don't like one-sided relationships. I'm done with that shit. And I try to have empathy for people. I really do. But once I find out that you don't have it for me, or that my life or my people's lives are not as valuable to you, don't ask me. That's all I'm saying. But go ahead.
And this is where, like I said, I want you to jump into that. I see your point. The answer, quote unquote, if you will, Dr. King kind of gave it to us. You cannot, only light can drive out darkness. Only love can drive out hate. And that, again, to me, is moral conundrum, because it requires, like you said, it requires me to ignore certain things. It has been shown that, we see things through the canon of America, because we're here, of course.
Right.
And Black people in America have a very, very unique history, right?
Right.
You'd like to believe this is a unique experience. But sadly, when you look everywhere, racism is not solely American. They just seem to have perfected it. They may have developed the patent, but it is not. It is not. You see what our South African brothers and sisters had to go through with apartheid. You see, even in the motherland, what happens, and it's like, when we talked last night, and just to fill the audience in, we were having a conversation about Kanye, which we may touch on later. But we were like, look, being Black in this country comes with some shit. And apparently being Black everywhere comes with some shit. I know some people are going to be like, well, duh. But understand that being Black in America, the things that come with that kind of can sometimes hinder your ability to understand our brothers and sisters of the diaspora are going through the same shit, sometimes, if not worse.
I mean,
so it's just shocking to see. Like, and this is the part this is why I'm shocked. I had a theory years ago when I was in college, right? And I was like, I was trying to find something called the common thread. I couldn't figure out what it was. The common thread was, excuse me, what is the thing that would make all people unite? What is the thing that would make everybody say, you know what, F this, you my brother, you my sister, I don't care, right? And I said, the one of the things I came up with, this is just me being an idealistic college student. One of the things I came up with was a global threat. So think,
Common enemy, aliens,
right, think
disease.
aliens, think, not even disease. That disease wouldn't work. Disease wouldn't work. Disease wouldn't work because there's nothing there to unite people. I mean, disease doesn't work because we're living in COVID. How united are we?
No, I'm saying no. I mean, see, now you're gonna make me look like the bad guy. I mean, like a Ebola threat. Like we about to be wiped out type disease type stuff.
That's
You know
not,
what I'm saying?
yeah, that's not gonna be that nasty. We need sadly, because of what's in
The
our
T
nature,
virus,
we need something to fight. That's not gonna work because rich folks, because
zombies.
Bezos and everybody else, they'll just build a compound and keep everybody out. Disease wouldn't work. You need something tangible to fight. So if the xenomorphs
So
from
aliens.
from
Okay.
from aliens came down, or war of the worlds, right? If you have what a global, something that is a global threat, that's something that kills indiscriminately. Yo, they're not just killing black people, they're not killing white people, they're killing anybody.
But that's
It
disease, though.
does not, it does not behoove you to be separate, right? So what's shocking to me about this is you now have a situation where the Russians are bombing Ukraine. The bombs aren't targeted for blonde and blood people. The bombs aren't targeted for. It's I'm going to throw bombs at Ukraine. Who's ever there is going to get it. You would think in a situation that is literally life and death, such as that, we don't have time for racial division. Yet and still, we find racism rears its ugly head even in matters of war, and it's like in the media, and no one said anything. No one said anything. Mainstream media, no, I haven't seen. I've seen the clip, but I've not seen any journalists correct it. All I've seen is the Amanda Seals and the Sean Kings and the black people here that are with the shits, for lack of a better term, address it. But I didn't see Fox News, CNN. I didn't see. We make a statement about, well, because my immediate response is, well, what do you mean we see lots of blonde-haired and blue-eyed people being killed? Like, what are you implying?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
are you saying they're targeting them specifically? What are you trying to say, sir? That deserves a probing question. When you say, well, this is Europe. This is not a third world country. This is Europe. What are you trying to imply?
See, this is why. What do you always say? It's kind of funny, but it's like, yeah, there's no black people in that room, because that would have been a question. Like, huh? So there,
Just as a reporter, though,
like,
if I'm sitting here listening to this, if I'm sitting here doing an interview and you say, there's tired of black people being targeted, like Don Lemon, they wouldn't have been able to get that one past Don Lemon. Don Lemon would have been like, "What you trying to say, homie?" In so many words, like, you know what I mean. So it's shocking to me that even in a life or death situation, somehow racism bears its ugly head, and this is where unpopular opinion time. This is what Whoopi was trying to say but didn't articulate well. And maybe we get in trouble for this. And I'm not going to dive too deep if you know why Whoopi was suspended from The View for a couple weeks, but I get it. This is sadly where phenotype matters. This is where what you look like matters, because what it looks like visually is you got white Russians attacking white Ukrainians. Well, that ain't got shit to do with me as a black person, right? So this was back to what you just said a moment ago. As a human, as a world citizen, I have empathy for what appears to be a useless loss of life. I feel bad that this is civilians and children being murdered for what? But then you can't ignore the fact that you're perfectly okay as long as black kids or Africans, as the case may be, are the ones first in line to die. And that is a hard thing to get by. And it creates the conundrum that you mentioned. As a world citizen, a human, I feel bad. But
Exactly.
on the flip, I can't ignore that you had no problem making sure everybody looked like you got out and everybody looked like me was last in line.
And
Now was that was not the time for that.
it's not, but I'm not surprised.
As I said, I'm surprised.
I'm not.
Because when it's listen, let's flip. Let's just say somebody worked up the stones to bring the beef to American shores again, Pearl Harbor style, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Texas, fam. If I saw some invading force running up on some dude with a MAGA hat and a pickup truck with a Confederate flag, I'm gonna help dude out. Like whatever. We ain't got time for this right now. It's an all hands on deck. It goes back to another conversation you
All
had a
right,
while back.
wait. So I just want to know your answer to this. So if the roles were switched, and that was and then some dude rolling up on you, and it was the MAGA hat that was by, you think he'll help you?
It's not the point.
I'm asking. I just want to ask.
Do I
Do you,
think
do,
I mean, put it this way. I think I'm solo dolo. If he
See,
helps, if
that's
he
my
helps,
problem. You're
but
willing
that's
to
not,
that,
but
but
you can't
that's my
function.
problem with my people. Let me finish, right? I'll let you talk. I understand your point. I'm not mad at you for saying that you will help, because that's the human thing to do. Because at the end of the day, we're all fucking human. This is just pigment. I have more melanin than you. You have, like, we all have different features, but at the end of the day, our genome still says we're Homo sapien. So we're all the same. But unfortunately in this world, there are divisions and there are races and then there are different things and subjects and all that stuff that we have to abide by and think about. Because it's like I said, black people are first in line that show empathy. I think we are. Because if we didn't, the world would be completely different. But we do. We settle for shit. We forgive. We put our differences aside to try to be, equal, to be friendly. But the people that are quote unquote our enemies do not do that. So my thing is, why should we keep trying to do that if they're not willing to play ball? I'm not saying that we shouldn't, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't help somebody who's in your need, because at the end of the day, we're still human. We're both American. We're being invaded, and we're all in danger. So at that point, everything should be dropped. All our differences should be dropped, and then we should be locked in arms. But the fact that you just said out your mouth, you think you'll be solo dolo, the roles are switched, should tell you how messed up that is. And that I'm kind of tired. I love our people that we can be empathetic and can put our differences to the side, but I hate it at the same time, because that means people can literally take advantage of that and use it against us. And not so it's like I that's why I say it's some moral conundrum. It's like, I want to do what you said, but I can't get rid of my blackness and my history and everything that's been happening to us in the past, present, and probably the future. So it's like I don't know
I
what to, in
think
that situation, I wouldn't know what to do.
I think for me the problem is okay, and I can't speak to whoever, if the MAGA person, for lack of a better term, if they can sleep at night. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't act in that way in that situation.
Because you have empathy.
Everything you're saying is correct. I
You have
get your point.
I got you. I'm saying you have empathy.
That-
That's a good thing to have. That's what all humans should have, but we lost it. We've become
Right,
desensitized to a lot of shit.
right.
So it's like I, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I think that would be my first instinct to try to do so, because I think that's in me. Because
Right.
I try to be a good person. You want to put your differences aside when it's a life or death situation. But at the flip side, I do have a brain and I do
But
think about stuff. So
you
it's
know,
like, I don't know.
Like Omar said, a man gotta have a code.
And I
Shout
do.
out to Michael. Shout out to Michael K. Williams. A man gotta have a code.
That's true.
I got a code. Be a good human. And I guess the question becomes, I try to live a life now where, because I haven't, you know me, I haven't had a life where I've had a lot of mentors, so to speak, right? And my question is, so in that instance, I say, well, look, am I living a life that my ancestors will be proud of? Am I living a life that if Harriet showed up tomorrow, I could rap with her, she'd be proud of me? Well, I'm living a life if Fred Hampton was here, if Nat Turner was here, Malcolm was here, would I be living a life that is supportive of their legacy and their message? And while I do not claim Christian, this is one of those places where Dr. King makes sense. You don't drive out hate with hate, you drive out hate with love. If I am indeed a receiver of the teachings of John Lennon, you know, you listen to Imagine, and it's about unity. It's about world unity. It's not black. Imagine there's no countries. It's easy if you try. You see, so if
That's
I am to do that, if I am to live that way, then it requires me to say F your Confederate flag, F your MAGA hat. If you in a bad
it.
way and I can help you get out that bad way, then I need to help you get out
It
that bad way.
it honestly requires a suspension of common sense. That's basically what you're saying, which is what you use for a lot of stuff that we do. Like
Mhm.
listen to music and all that, and the culture and all that. It's like it requires a suspension of common sense because the stuff that you're talking about, the John Lennons and all this unity shit, that's all great and dandy. The Christian way, forgiveness no matter what, but people are not wired that way. And if we just forgive everything, you can be deemed as being easy to manipulate and take over.
Well, it
So
depends,
that can
because
make
if
that
you
can be seen as a weakness, not a
forgiving
strength.
don't mean I gotta F with you though. Oh, I can forgive you, but we not cool, like no way, shape, or form ever again.
Yeah, but there's a difference between that and being cordial in the same place versus what our scenario is that you're willing to put your life on the line for them. So you can die. When you go home, you might not walk away. You good with that?
The
You
question
good
is,
with
would
leaving
you?
people behind that actually do care about you? For someone who doesn't, you good with that? That's a question you gotta go think. That's the question I'll be running through my head. Is like, is this worth it?
I mean, because the problem is, I could die. The question for me though is, could I live? And the answer is no. If I had a chance to help somebody in that regard and I didn't, there ain't gonna be a lot of justification in my own mind for why I did act. So that's the thing. To
I
make it
guess that
very
makes us.
real,
I guess that makes us different because
and of course I'm gonna have that moment of, oh my God, I'm leaving you here and leave, but at the end of the day, I expect you and those who know me well enough to know I consider myself, because see, here's where this interesting thing comes in. I firmly believe at this point we have enough knowledge to acknowledge history, acknowledge, where we all come from and the mistakes of our past, but move forward unified. The problem is a lot of other people don't feel that way. But I believe that. Look, I expect you guys to know, like, look, if I laid it all on the line for somebody, regardless of what they might do or who they are, as I just mentioned, I gotta live a life that says, are my ancestors proud of me? Is my grandmother proud of me? Are you proud of me? And that requires, look, Thanos, toughest choices require the strongest wills. Hey, yo.
Thanos was right. Go ahead.
But no, it's just to circle back to where we started, man. It's just I'm shocked and just saddened that even at this point in time, racism somehow rears its ugly head. I don't understand it. And it's just, yeah, we literally talking life and death. And maybe that's the part I'm missing. Maybe because we're talking life and death, it's easier for those dividing lines to come up. If I think you're an inferior race, if I think you're an inferior person, then it's easier for me to be like, yo, nah, F y'all. My people get on the train, F y'all. Maybe that's it. But I just
Yeah.
like it's the analogy I gave you before. Yo, can you imagine like really dark green plants like pine trees and such like that beefing with really light plants? Sounds stupid, doesn't it?
Like I said, I just thought, like I said, I know we thought about it. Let's just say aliens came and they were peaceful, and then we didn't try to blow them the fuck up. Let's just say everybody was peaceful, right? So they came, just asked a regular person, not government officials, just asked, walked up to you or me, just like, yo, if you could describe humanity and planet Earth, how would you do it?
um
Yeah.
Agreed. I want to say an entire world run by the whims of greedy men, primarily greedy white men.
It's like, yeah. And then you start telling them the problems. You're like, it's like, oh, wait, what? So you have issues with them because they look like this and like, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and then they might look at you like stupid. I have 10
pretty
eyes,
much.
and all 10 eyes just look at you like, and you're the
Eh,
dominant species on this planet. How did that happen?
yeah. I saw this, yo, side note, I saw this funny meme, yo. There's like aliens probably drive by Earth and lock their windows on the way.
Yeah.
Aliens probably drive by Earth and lock their windows, like, ah,
Hey,
we
let's go
good.
for a pit stop. No, we don't want to go
Nah, nah,
there.
nah, 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 nah. They probably on the road like, now listen, ain't no bathrooms for the next such and such. You know we ain't stopping at Earth.
Hell
Ain't no bathroom. You better hold it.
no, hold it. Go outside.
Ain't no more stops till we get to Venus. What's wrong with you?
That's kind of like we're making jokes, but that's sad. That's
Bruh,
really sad.
bruh, it's
That's that's
like
that's
yeah.
really sad. That's
Because
sad.
that I think that'll be that to be all just out there. But the saddest part that will be the saddest part about the end of humanity will probably because one, we did it ourselves, and
Yeah.
two, we didn't have to.
Yeah.
Like right now, you like just on GP, you have this idiot setting fire to a nuclear reactor. Like,
Which would have
so
been worse than Chernobyl if that went off.
like, are you Remy voice? Are you dumb? Like, so
That's how you know how stupid it was, because they seized, like, if the reports are true, they seized fire and was like, yo, let's handle this. This is why did
right,
we do?
yeah. And I'm like, oh wait, hold up. Here's gets real fun. Where's Chernobyl again?
I think
Right,
that's why they
right.
stopped.
You
I think that's why they stopped. Like,
you
oh, you can't
idiot.
have this again.
You idiots are literally where the worst nuclear accident has ever occurred. Yeah, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna set fire to this other one over here. The folly of man. Like you
Thanos
this
was
is the
right,
part.
boy. Thanos and Ultron was right. Think about that.
I mean, like, and like I said, this is just going down not too far down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole. We try not to do that here, but Ukraine was flirting with becoming part of NATO, right? Now let's quick history lesson. Quick history lesson. I do believe it was JFK's administration. Cuban Missile Crisis. Cuba, basically next door to America. Like, here's Florida, swim a few laps, there's Cuba, right? Basically next door. Somehow they rabbit ass mind. Russia, hence the Cuban Missile Crisis. Russia put missiles right at Cuba. Like, eh, don't pay attention to us. We're just gonna put these missiles here. Like, if we must blow up America like that. No problem. No problem. No, don't worry. Don't worry. Right. Fast forward to now. I get how it might seem like an extreme concern, but given the history of this country, if Ukraine becomes part of NATO, and given the history of US and Russia, Anybody else think that in the next near future, the second Ukraine becomes part of NATO, America might just feel the need to, I don't
Have an
know,
army base there? Yeah,
space?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to happen.
No, Mr. Putin. We're just training here.
All right, okay. That's I didn't really want to get into this, but that's why I say it's deeper than just Russia just invading
Oh,
for
it's
no
it's a
reason.
lot. It's a lot of history and everything else. But I mean, but on the flip, look, you can't go start murdering people on a maybe, dog. Like you can't go on a murdering spree on a
No, like
maybe.
I said, I'm not gonna choose any side in this because this is out of my pay grade. And honestly, this is kind of out of my reach. That is over there, to be honest. So it's like, I don't know, because you got the news sources saying one thing, you got the people there saying one thing. So it's like I don't know what to believe and why this happened and what's the true reason for this.
Right.
And all I know is something like this hasn't happened since World War II. So
Yeah.
now it's happening. So
And NATO
we
was
gonna
saying
find
there'll
out
be
how this ends.
no. I'm just trying to figure out this little difference too, and maybe this is just me not understanding how world treaties and things work. So NATO has specifically said there are not going to be any planes in Ukrainian airspace. Da 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 da. Listen, I'm trying to figure out if you got beef with somebody, right? And I'm saying I'm not helping, I'm not jumping in. Like I'm not going to jump in. But here, take all these weapons so you can go beef with these dudes. Isn't that kind of the same thing, or am I just goofy? Because there's been a whole bunch of supplies and weapons and armaments sent to Ukraine, but they're not physically going to go in there and fight themselves. Like, so if I'm supplying you with the weapons, I'm kind of
It's basically like if you're drowning, instead of jumping in and get you, I just throw you a lifeline. Save yourself. That's basically what they're saying. It's like, look, we're not going to physically put ourselves on the line.
This is
It's just I'm gonna throw you this floaty and you work it out. Hopefully it works
fam. I'm
out.
just looking from this standpoint. This is 50 Cent in New York, New York. Like, okay, 50 and Fat Joe had beef, but then 50 and Ja Rule got beef, but then Jada and Fat Joe get on the track with Ja Rule. Oh, so y'all with that dude? Well, I'm coming out on y'all now. And it just seems the same way, like, well, no, NATO, we're not going to jump in, but we'll give you all these weapons to fight with. Like, yeah, you still with them dudes. So, I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't
I
know.
don't.
I'm not a
I
war
don't.
person. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't have enough stars on my shoulder to
I don't
figure that one out.
what is it?
I don't have enough stars on my shoulders to figure that one out.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know.
But all right. So at any stretch, condolences for the loss of life.
Agree.
May my brothers and sisters in the diaspora get out of that country safely,
Yes,
and may racism not continue to rear its ugly head. I hope
it will.
intelligence prevails.
It won't.
Come on. Gotta
Stop.
have a little faith, man.
I do. I have
Um,
faith in me and me only. That's it. There you go. Let's go.
Shifting gears to less serious matters. So for those of us who really love like real hip hop, and yes, I'm gonna say real hip hop, anything other than trap and drill rap, like real hip hop, bars, lyrics. Oh, I thought about it too. I'll get to you in a second. So our favorite super group, Slaughterhouse, is no more. Well, has been no more for years,
Yeah.
but the nail is in the coffin for real now. And the group is apparently seriously at odds publicly. Now, for those who don't know, Slaughterhouse was comprised of Joel Ortiz, Joe Button, Royce the 5'9", King Crooked. Just the greatest lyrical group ever assembled. Like,
Yeah.
just bar none. If you appreciate hip hop, you appreciate that what they did.
Yeah.
They went their separate ways. Joe Budden started his podcast, so on and so forth. And apparently, what's leaking out is Joe Budden might have been a reason why things couldn't get back together. It is sad to see. So Joel Ortiz and King Crooked have released the Death of Slaughterhouse and the Downfall of Slaughterhouse project that's come in and released these little trailers and this and that. It's like, whoa. And Joe mentioned on the podcast, they've been trading shots a little back and forth. But I'm like, the thought process was, could you replace Joe Budden in Slaughterhouse? Black Thought could. Go
No,
ahead and tell me Go ahead and tell me Black Thought couldn't be the fourth member of Slaughterhouse.
no. That has nothing to do with bars. It's like I said, it's chemistry.
You need a top tier.
It's
Okay.
chemistry.
Hold on. We've heard Royce and Black Thought on the same track, and it was seamless.
Yeah, but this is new Royce. Old Royce and Black Thought, that would not work. Because now they're basically similar now. I'm not saying they sound like rapper, like I'm just saying their subject and how they go away things is different. This is sober Royce. This is pro, you know, and that's what Black Thought's been his whole career. So
I just
of
thought
course
we
it
heard,
aligns, but
because I'm
not
like, we heard them on Father Figure together. We heard them on Ya together.
this is
Yo,
that's
Royce and
new
Cole.
Royce, right? This was Royce in his transformation. If you talking about Royce back then with Slaughterhouse, when he was still, drinking and stuff, because like I said, Joel and oddly enough, Crooked said that on a track about how Royce was different when he was drinking and all that. So he grew up. He changed. He changed. So and honestly, Joel and Crooked did kind of change, but not to that extent. They still kind of rap about the same stuff. And that's why I said in the intertwine, if you just get those two mixed with those two, I don't know how that would work. That's just
I
my
think
opinion. But
I
lyrically, of
think
course, Black Thought can do it. I'm not saying he couldn't. I'm just saying like chemistry. That's all I'm
I
saying.
mean, until they had beef, I thought Lupe might have been a good candidate.
No, hell no.
Wow. It's just sad to see. I'm looking forward to the project. I hope it's not 13 tracks of why Slaughterhouse fell. I hope we get some straight bars about, whatever. But it just hurts. If you appreciate hip hop, like I told you off air, we can't be just left with trap and drill rap. That can't be it. That can't be it, yo. That can't be it. It's got to be some real lyricism in the game. It's got to be like, please, Kendrick, wherever you are, save us.
Yeah. That's why I
You
love
know,
Kendrick. He said this a while ago. When
J
shit
Elect,
get bracket, don't you ask for me. He's getting bracket, boy.
J Elect, please get back to the studio. I don't care if you gotta bring Jay with you
Yeah,
again.
5 more years. You're right. 5 more years, you'll be back.
J Cole, help us out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gotta be some real lyricists
Got
left in
Drake.
the game.
Yeah, that's your guy. No, what's wrong with Drake, bro? That's your guy. Oh, like, so now you turning on your guy now? Drake ain't that dude?
I'm not turning on Drake. It's just he's not the caliber of lyricist of the people I just named. I'm not turning on Drake. He's just not the
Really?
caliber of lyric. You think Drake is the caliber of lyricist of
I thought
Kendrick,
you
of
thought that. I
Cole?
said he's not, but you said okay.
You talking alien tier lyricist, alien tier versus lyricist here. Like,
Hey, you would describe Drake, you would not know the difference.
whatever, yo. I think Drake is an important rapper, beyond a shadow of a doubt. I think Drake is a very important rapper. I think he needs more credit than he gets from certain people.
Certain people. Okay. So you doing some subs in there? Okay.
And I mean, like I said, I think if any dude past 25 can listen to Sooner Than Later and be like, damn, like that is to me, like there are certain albums and certain records in hip hop that beyond the skill of it are important. I think from an impact standpoint, if you're listening closely, like Sooner Than Later is an important record. Um, Outcast Babylon, that's an important record. I personally, and I know this is New York blasphemy, I didn't really care for Juicy, but Juicy was an important record for so many reasons.
I didn't care about it either.
Like I get it. That's New York blasphemy, but Juicy was an important record because it was like it was the original started from the bottom. When you listen to what Big was saying, now being of a higher mind of a certain aspect, really all Big was talking about was materialism personified, just having a whole bunch of shit. But when you look at it from coming from where he came from in Brooklyn, being poor, so on and so forth, Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, that's important shit. paying bills. It's important shit. Mom's happy. That's important shit from coming from the hood. You know what I mean? So that's important shit. So the importance of Juicy can't be overlooked. The importance of Fuck the Police. It's an important song. I know everybody in law enforcement hates it, but it's an important song.
Greatest song ever.
So I think Drake has made some important records. He is not God tier MC. I give him lyricists, not God tier.
Oh, okay, all right. See, I'm
You know,
glad
he's capped out. He's capped out. And I don't think that's the thing. Unless he pulled a Rick Ross, J. Cole kind of disappear and work on your craft, then come back. I don't think there's much you can do to make it to the alien tier, but it's cool. This is an NBA. You a consistent 25 point a night score.
Yeah, he's a
I don't
superstar.
think. Yeah, I don't think you'll ever be. I don't think you'll ever be a 30 point a night score. But you drop 24, 25 a night. That's solid.
Still a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, most guys don't drop 25 a night. You're not DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan could be a 30-point scorer, I believe. But
Oh, yeah, bring DeMar. What did he do? He's just mind his business. Son is literally dropping 35 a game for the last 10 straight games. And you just
that's my point, yo. DeMar DeRozan is potentially Hall of Fame career, but gosh, where were we? But no, it's lyrically speaking, it's sad that Slaughterhouse is going this way. I see both sides of the debate. I honestly kind of see Joe's point, like why in the world would Crooked and Joel decide to capitalize off this? And like I said, you could have just made an album and left Slaughterhouse out the mix. But here we are. But yeah, there's that. I hate that we've lost the greatest group ever assembled. This is looking like Kyrie, KD, and James Harden. Like, what could have been. Speaking of which, it's a very interesting thing. I was listening to Keyshawn, J, Will, and Max, and they had an interesting conversation. We and I talked about it. What if we had the battle of the big threes from Golden State and Brooklyn? If you took KD, Steph, and Clay versus KD, Harden, and Kyrie in a 3-on-3, who wins? My answer is I don't know. Obviously, KD versus KD cancel each other out. That Clay versus Harden matchup is going to be interesting because Clay is still a lockdown defender. And then Kyrie versus Steph is going to be interesting because Steph is literally in range past half court. So can Steph guard Kyrie? Debatable. But, bro, how you going to guard somebody that's in range once he step past half court? How does that work? So it's like, if it's like you said, if it's make it take it like street ball rules, I still don't know. Like, I don't know. Because not as if, like, you got to count on Steph to miss, and that's not something you want to count on. Like, and if we playing legit street ball rules, call your own fouls, Harden ain't getting bailed out by the refs going to the cup.
He's going to bail himself out. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There you go. Like, so Clay can put the clamps on him. And I don't know. But who's standing for the Kyrie? Like, if it were possible to clone KD, it'd be fun to watch.
See, I'm gonna give you the real answer, not cop out. The answer is if it's real street ball rules, just make it take it. If Golden State, if the Nets start off with the ball, Golden State's not touching it again. So, and I'm gonna tell you why. Like I said, KD, like you said, is going to cancel himself out. So I think he's gonna be out of the game. So the real matchup is between the big two, Steph and Clay versus Kyrie and Harden. And you can kind of say Clay can take out Harden. Cool. There's one problem. Steph is the weakest link defense-wise out of everyone in this list. And it's been proven if you put Steph on Kyrie, what the hell is going to happen to him? We've seen it in the finals, seen it in the regular season. I don't know what it is. I think Kyrie just has a personal vendetta against Steph because every time he plays him, he goes full Uncle Drew mood and just embarrasses him. I don't know. He goes 35, 40 points every time. I don't know why. It's like every time he gets switched on, we just this. Thank you. So yeah, Steph is going to get cooked. Basically, it's whoever offense on Steph. So
About to say,
if
'cause right
Clay's,
now Steph is going Super Saiyan mode this year, sir. Like, dude,
have you not seen his slump? He had a whole 2 month slump. Like he was MVP for the first couple of months until December hit in January, and he had the worst slump of his career. So I guess if the game's in December, then yeah, it's really bad because
you stupid y'all.
But because he typically doesn't really play well in December. But yeah, if it's make it take it and Nets somehow get the ball, I got the Nets. Now, if it's just NBA rules or it's not make it take it, everyone touches the ball, then I would probably lean toward probably Golden State for that. Because everyone touches the ball. And I think like you said, Steph score. Clay, we all know can score.
Because I'm like, you sitting here acting like, Kyrie gonna lock up Steph, and
I didn't say that. That's why I said if everyone touches the ball, then it's basically a matter of who misses more. And it's like you have literally on one side, you have three of the greatest shooters ever. And on the other side, you have three of the greatest scorers ever. So it's like, well, who's going to miss more? And at that point, I'm going with the greatest shooters ever. And I'm just going to say the Warriors. But if it's make it take it and it's just straight ISO ball 1-on-1, and every time I score, I get the ball back, I'm taking Nets because they're the greatest ISO scorers ever assembled on one team. So, yeah.
Okay, I can see that point. And yeah, speaking of basketball, we gotta touch on it, man. I told you this off air. Basketball is the ultimate old head sport. I don't know if anyone else has satellite TV, satellite radio, satellite radio. But I was listening to the NBA channel, and your boy Charles Oakley, dog.
You're not that guy, pal.
You're talking about Giannis wouldn't even would come off the bench in the 80s, 90s. Like, no, if he did come off the bench, he'd come off and dunk and put his nuts in your forehead, sir. All basketball players just got this idea that the golden era of ball was like the 80s, 90s. And it, as someone who lived through it, it just wasn't. It was, people get captured in the moment, and people are safe to say that because, Magic, Michael, Bird, but I think the drop off, the overall talent level just wasn't there like it is now. Like, Patty Mills would shoot your lights out. You know what I mean? Like, the average talent level in the NBA now is, I think, better, and skill level is better now, because in the 80s, 90s, you had the superstars, the Jordan, this and the third, and then there was a huge drop off to the next tier. But it's like you got, look at Toronto, you had Kawhi, but then you had Van Fleet, and you had I cannot remember the dude's name.
Lowry?
No, not Lowry. Siakam. Yeah, Siakam. Like, Siakam ain't no bum. It took a star power like it took a star like Kawhi to overshadow Siakam. Ain't no bum. Like, you got Giannis, but Chris Middleton ain't no scrub. Like, the tiers is not the same anymore. In the 80s, you had, look at that Knicks team. You had Pat Ewing. That was it. Everything else was a drop off. So this cat Oakley, you wouldn't have made the All-Star game now. You made one All-Star game in your career.
And you shouldn't have made that. I don't even know how the hell you made that. That might have something to do with your boy, to be honest with you. The one that you protected. But like I said, Isaiah is right. Isaiah Thomas, the original bad boy. It's like, bro, you weren't that dude back then. You damn sure wouldn't be that dude now. So, like if Oak said Giannis wouldn't have been, he would have came over the bench like the first couple of years before he bulked up, I would agree. But Giannis now, this is one of those like all time greats where he's like they can play in any era.
Yeah, he's one of those. He honestly, like I said, he got injured
like,
again.
like, how do you stop 6'11", 250, 7'6" wingspan, 3 steps from half court, he's at the rim. And he
You
plays,
don't.
he has the mindset of an 80s and 90s player.
Right. I'm
Because
coming
his
at you. I'm
because
gonna put it on.
because
Yeah.
he tried to use the excuse, well, he can't shoot and he's not gonna score in the paint. He can't shoot now when he's scoring in the paint.
Boy, all y'all gonna do is what?
So
Foul
you just
him?
gonna foul him? You gonna like clothesline him? Like, for one, Giannis is not a little dude.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Some of these dudes might
So
get broke up.
so you gonna probably push him down, but if everything's the same and he still came from the streets of Greece and he still has that mean streak in him, it's like, okay, I don't think you want to fight him, Oak. Like, I
Yeah,
understand you got
you
the
don't want
tough
them.
guy label. I haven't seen you fight in the NBA, but okay. I know you have the label, but I don't know if you want to win Giannis. He gonna smack you from across the court. You're not even gonna touch. Hey, yo, stop, yo.
Stupid, son. Yo,
So
you
like, and
stupid, man.
like you said, nuts on your head. You gonna foul him. He gonna get up. And Isaiah was right. He gonna dunk on
Yeah,
your
right.
whole life.
Right.
You
Because like I
gonna
said,
stop him.
fam, that team was Ewing. Then you had Oakley, you had Mason,
Starks. All right.
for Starks, but it wasn't like none of those dudes was all stars. It's not a nah, we don't dudes was all stars.
Not now. Oh
Starks
yeah.
had a hot run for a minute, but depending on who you talk to in New York, Starks is the reason why they lost the finals. So it's like
Yeah, he got it.
there's
But
that. Yeah, it's like
it's like, yeah, like, just I don't get it.
like it was
I
one.
understand. Like I said, I understand people want to live their era and thinking that is the best. That's just human nature. That's what we do. But like I said, I
Prisons of
think
the
my
money.
generation is better than this new one. You probably think your generation is better. I mean, it is
No,
what it
I
is. A
try to.
human thing.
I try to look at everything objectively, and I get numbers can be skewed because right now, at least in like think of the NFL, the numbers going forward are going to be skewed because
It's a
of the
different
rule
league.
changes, and then now it's an extra game.
Oh
And
yeah.
to me, the truest passer is probably still Marino. This is not to take nothing away from Drew Brees,
He's the
but
greatest.
dog, when Marino threw for 5,084,
That's that
like
will,
fam,
yeah, that is the
5,084.
and 50 touchdowns, I think, or 49 touchdowns, something like that. Like, yeah, that's why you got to add context to history and numbers.
Right.
Because numbers can lie or mislead you if you
Yeah.
don't add context. Because you're gonna look at all the numbers, like you said, that Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes, Peyton Manning's, all them put
Matthew
up.
Stafford.
Matthew
Like, I'm not
Stafford,
knocking Matthew
like,
Stafford.
but it's
But
like, but
dog, I'm not putting Matt Stafford the same
next to
class
Dan
as Dan
Marino.
Marino.
No,
I'm not doing it. I'm
like I
not doing it.
said, Dan Marino back then, if you just put it like in his prime, put him in this league would be fucking scary. Like,
Oh
Dan
God.
Marino is literally like, even to this day, I think Dan Marino is the most talented, gifted quarterback ever. Like, I think if you put him, I think him, Rodgers, and Mahomes are in the same class.
I don't know why y'all just did the interceptions bother y'all? Because I think from a talent standpoint, the two names I, I think the conversation starts with Peyton Manning.
Nah.
And I also think you cannot
I'm
leave.
talking arm talent because Peyton doesn't have a cannon. So you saying Peyton Manning has a cannon compared to Dan Marino and Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes? You're really saying that?
I didn't say Denver Manning. I said Indy Manning. Some of the we talking talent. I'm not just talking about deep ball
I'm
because
talking.
Cam Newton has a hell of a deep ball.
I'm talking everything in total talent, arm talent, able to run, throw on the run. When is Peyton Manning throwing on the run or running at all?
Good. He's that good. He doesn't have to.
We've seen him run. He's not on that class.
Oh no, it's painful. Like him and his brother both. It's painful to watch them run. Like,
okay,
God,
and
that
that's
looks like
when I'm saying the most talent. I'm putting like, if you basically, I'm saying, if you go to Madden, you create a quarterback. Who are you going to get? Who are they going to play like? They're going to be a dual threat quarterback with a fast release and a cannon of arm that can make every throw. And who does that describe most likely? Dan Marino, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes.
Marino barely ran, and I still don't know how we keep leaving Brett Favre off this list, but okay.
He's up there too. It's just that if you put the the total talities that he throws so many guys. He has too much confidence in himself, so he throws too many damn interceptions. But I'm
Brett, that
saying, but
I love Brett
like
Favre.
Dan, Aaron, and Patrick Mahomes, they have all the techniques and everything that you ask for to make every throw, can throw on a run, blah blah blah, and they make
I think
smart decisions. So they're
I
not
think from a
throwing a
raw
million interceptions. Like I don't
okay,
think
I
any of
think
them
from a
led
raw
the league in
talent.
interceptions.
I think from a raw talent standpoint, you got to mention you got to me. You got to mention Cam Newton.
No.
I just think come on, man.
What
Like
is because
he's what
it,
happened. If you
no,
I don't know if you remember Dante Culpepper, but he's what
I
happened
remember.
if Dante Culpepper had the smidge more talent, you get Cam Newton.
But
Big,
the thing
strong,
about Cam,
fast, cannon of an arm. Like
no, he's a great, like he's the most physically gifted quarterback ever. There's difference. I'm saying most talented. Because the thing about Cam Newton, this is why he might be a borderline Hall of Famer, is because he's inconsistent. His accuracy is not there all the time. Everyone I just named is there all the time. It's reliable.
okay.
So like I said, there's been plenty of like physically talented quarterbacks, but when I say talent, I mean physical, mental, accuracy, all that, legs, everything
Oh,
all to
because I'm
one.
like, yeah, because Joe Montana had the legs, but as far as passing,
Yeah, accuracy and
He was
and clutchness.
Tom
Yeah,
Brady before Tom Brady. Like I know Tom Brady is overshadowed, but the original was Joe Montana. But okay,
yeah.
okay. And what else? All right. So what else do we have on the docket? Was that about it? We touch anything else here?
Yeah, I think we got everything now.
I think that's everything. And oh, cursed. So you're not on fire about it.
No. Oh, there's one thing I want to talk about. Are you going to see the Batman, my sir? I'm pretty sure you.
I'm going to see the
When are you
Batman next
seeing it?
Saturday, sir. I'm
Next
going to see the
Saturday? Okay,
Batman next
I'm
Saturday.
seeing it Wednesday. So the
It's
reviews are in.
one is 3 hours long.
I
That's
know.
one thing. It's
I
3 hours
know.
long. So
I
it's like
know.
going to watch
But
Endgame.
no, yeah. But I've seen the reviews, and the reviews are saying, and I thought this was blasphemy. The reviews are saying that it is up to par with Dark Knight.
Whoa, that's whoa.
If
Because
not better.
it can't be better, but okay.
I said, see,
Because
I
when
wasn't,
you
see, like I was going in there thinking that it was going to be a great movie, but I wasn't going to put it on a Dark Knight scale because I didn't think that was fair. But now I see many people saying Dark Knight is trending because of this shit. And I'm like, so y'all really comparing
y'all
it to that?
really because see the problem is if you look at Dark Knight as a movie all by itself, which we tend to do.
It's a great movie, not even just superhero. It's a great
Right.
movie.
But the thing is though, the reality situation is that movie is different if not for Heath Ledger. So what I will say the Batman has going for it is it looks like, without me having seen it, it looks like Pattinson is a better Batman
They're saying that.
than Christian
They're
Bale.
saying he's the
Which
best Batman ever.
okay, we're going a little carried away. But
That's
the
what they're
problem
saying.
is, I don't just on its face, Riddler isn't as good a villain as Joker. Riddler is not as compelling. Riddler, there's nothing about Riddler. Like I never got Riddler to begin with.
If
Now,
it's
if you give
done
him a psychological edge, like, did you I don't remember. Did you ever see Seven?
7,
Yeah, the movie Seven.
that about the alien?
Ah man, it was Brad Pitt. It's a 90s flip, but it's classic. Okay, that's your homework assignment. Go watch
No, no,
Seven.
no, no, no. What is it about?
It's with Brad Pitt. It's with Morgan Freeman and Kevin Spacey, and it's about this killer with the seven deadly sins.
Oh, never
And it's
mind.
got one of the illest twists ever at the end. All right, watch Seven on the weekend. But if you're going to give him that kind of psychological edge, which I'm not sure you can do in a PG-13 movie, then Riddler makes sense. But on its face, Riddler is nowhere near as compelling as Joker, which means by default, your villain isn't going to be as good as Heath.
I'm hearing that the villain, the Riddler and the Penguin that were supposed to be in it are actually doing great, and that this movie is more psychological and more detective style of Batman versus what we've seen in the past. where it's kind of more actiony, and you keep forgetting that he's the world's greatest detective. So I think from what they're
So
saying that
they
it shows off the Batman's brilliant, I can't say that word, brilliancy and his detective skills while still being gritty and stuff. That's what the reviews I'm saying.
oh,
So
because
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
find
because quite honestly, when you used to play what's the name, I'm like, this game is boring. So it's like it sounds like they took Arkham Asylum from the video game and just made it a movie.
that game's not you crazy.
Dude, when I sat there and watched you play it, I'm like, ain't no action. You ain't fighting nobody. All this
It's the
solving these
perfect yes, I
puzzles. And
go, you know what? I'm not go
just
ahead,
shoot
bro.
somebody. Do something fun.
Shoot. When does Batman use guns?
I'm just saying, like, ain't no fighting here. It's all
This
this
ain't
solving
Wolverine.
riddles and
Wolverine was a
puzzles.
fun ass
Like,
game. That was a
yes,
fun
it
game.
was. Yeah, exactly. But like Arkham Asylum and the Batman is like they're great games, but it's way too much problem solving, not enough God of War. Like, come on. Like,
Typical
come on.
American man. Straight violence, no thinking.
Hey,
It's
hey, I'm
Batman. It's critical thinking. That's what he's supposed to. He's a detective at the end of the day.
he's a white privileged role cop, but that's another discussion.
Hey, you go with that. I think he's gonna say that.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What's your
Hey, but you
superpower?
cool. Yeah, you cool with Iron Man though. Okay, all right, sure.
Iron Man doesn't hide behind a mask.
I see. I know you watch the MCU
We all know Tony Stark is Iron Man.
because of the MCU. That wasn't the case in the. Okay.
Just saying. We all know Tony Stark is an Iron Man, and it's not like hiding
And
behind a mask.
and
And
he like I said, even if we just go with the movies and not the comics, he's a rich right billionaire with technology, and he sided with the Accords, the government. So who's really a rich white cop?
stop, stop,
Right.
stop, yo.
See.
Stop. Meanwhile, Batman literally flew into China and kidnapped someone and brought him back for, you know.
Batman has no jurisdiction. He's not a
Mhm.
cop.
That's one of those
He's
big
not
plot
a
holes.
cop.
That's one of those big plot holes in a movie. You know damn well China would have been on our neck had this cat just flew over there, kidnapped somebody, and brought him back. Like that's one of the plot holes in the Dark Knight, yo. Like this is all well and good, but you just set off all kind of international shit.
Probably. Yeah.
So, but okay. I will. I'm going to check it out next Saturday. You're going to see it next Wednesday. We will have a review for you all. Show after next. But no huge recap here. Just I am saddened to see racism rear its ugly head in Ukraine. I am saddened to see the useless loss of life. I maintain, and this part I tried to mention before when we were talking about it, but I didn't. I consider myself a world citizen. I understand my lineage is that of Africa, but I can respect the struggles of Ireland, the struggles of anywhere, you know. But how I see myself might stand in contrast to how the world sees me. And I understand this melanin don't wash off. And depending on where I'm standing, that's what people are going to see first, whether I want them to or not. But I say that to say I hope this conflict is over soon. I hope there's no more needless loss of life. Um, I don't have an answer for big three versus big three. You gave a good answer. I don't know. I am sad to see Slaughterhouse really officially like done. But as I always say, if Jay and Nas can come together after Super Ugly, anything's possible. We have not reached super ugly levels. So if Jay and Nas can come together after Super Ugly, anything's possible. Yeah, can't wait for the Batman. That's all I got, man. What you got?
Yeah. Hopefully, war ends soon. Like I said, racism has no sleep, so I'm not surprised. And hopefully, we don't have another Chernobyl incident. But I said my scenario for the Nets and stuff. I got the Nets if it's street ball rules, make it take it. And if it is regular like NBA style, then I got Golden State. Um, Slaughterhouse, I've been telling this guy for years now that it's dead. And now he's finally seen the light and heard from the horse's mouth that it's dead. And who knows? He might get a good rap beat from this. But What else did we talk about? Oh, yeah, Batman. Yeah. Now I'm going to judge it harshly now because you had to open your mouth because you had to compare it to one of the greatest movies ever made and my personal favorite movie ever. So if you're going to compare it, if you want, yeah, if you want to speak on the kingdom, you better watch your tongue, sir. So,
Sound
yeah,
like in New York, we're talking about hip hop. Oh, my bad. Continue.
yeah, New York drill music. Where'd that come from?
Came from the Midwest, sir. Don't put that on New York. Came from the Midwest.
But there's New York drill rappers. It's okay.
I'm just
I
saying.
know
Don't
you.
don't
I know
put
you want
don't
to
don't
shrug stuff
don't
under
don't
the rug.
don't put that shit on the world's greatest city. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's
Hey,
the Midwest.
hey,
Don't do that. That started in the Midwest. That's Chicago shit. Don't do that.
I know you're not from New York, so you don't even pay attention to what they're making. But all right, but yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Yeah, well, love and peace to everybody. And I said we are
Yeah.
world citizens. I do love you. I'm
Indeed.
just saying, for my people specifically, it's okay to have a moral conundrum and thinking about trying to support and show love to other people. But you still gotta remember, you are black at the end of the day, and sometimes they will not show the same remorse or empathy towards you because they're showing their ugly face. But it is what it is. Still
Well,
love you though.
on behalf of the both of us, thank you all for tuning in again to another episode. Same bad time, same bad channel. Next week, we will talk to you all from the Yeah I Said It podcast. Peace.
Yeah.